Yo, how's it going, guys? It's J-Mass, back again with another dope New England adventure. So today I got a pretty fun one. It's really weird and random, but it's the type of shit I like. So other than traveling, one thing I'm really into is geography, especially borders. I love borders. I find them really fascinating and interesting. And one thing I'm really into are the borders of multiple states or countries that meet. In this case, a tri-point border. Now, what a tri-point border is it basically means three states all meet at one point. So I'm currently in the town of Thompson, Connecticut. It's the most northeastern town in Connecticut. But I'm actually on my way to a tri-point border. It's the tri-point border for Connecticut, Rhode Island, and Massachusetts. So basically all three of those borders converge onto one point. So theoretically, if you're standing in the middle, you're standing in three states at once. It's weird, but I love stuff like that. So we're going to be checking out the Massachusetts, Connecticut, Rhode Island tri-point border. I'm making my way there right now from the Connecticut side, which is the most easily navigable side. It's really cool. It's right in the middle of the woods. It's not too bad of a hike, actually. I've done this before a couple years ago, and we're going to be in three states at once today. It's going to be crazy. So I'm going to bring you guys with me along this trail in Thompson, Connecticut, on our way to be in three states at once. So as we make our way over to the tri-point border, I just want to give you guys a quick bit of history because some pretty obscure shit happened here. So as I said, I'm in the town of Thompson, Connecticut. I'm actually walking along a rail trail called the Airline State Trail. This was actually part of a now abandoned and defunct railroad line called the New York and New England Railroad. And this bridge right here was also part of it. So way back in the 19th century, on December 4th, 1891, there was a massive train wreck here. It was called the Great East Thompson train wreck, and it was one of the worst train crashes in early American history. It actually happened right here in East Thompson, Connecticut, right along this rail trail I'm walking on. It's obviously pretty obscure today, but at the time it was one of the worst railroad catastrophes in America. We're going to be walking along this pretty rickety bridge right up here. As you can see, pretty sketchy. So that railroad catastrophe I was just telling you about, that happened on December 4th, 1891, and it was actually between four train cars, I should say. It was between New York and Boston, and basically there was a huge train crash, resulted in the destruction of those four train cars, and resulted in the deaths of two people. So yeah, it was pretty bad. But today, while most of it's gone, still got some remnants of it, including this massive bridge here that is pretty, unstable to say the least. But it's cool, and it's a weird bit of history. So as I said, this tri-point border is actually between Connecticut, Rhode Island, and Massachusetts. All three of those states meet at one point. The specific towns I'm going to be in, though, are obviously Thompson, Connecticut, which is what I'm currently in. Then there's Burrillville, Rhode Island. My last video was actually in Burrillville, Rhode Island. And then Douglas, Massachusetts. So not only am I going to be in three states at once, I'm also going to be in three towns at once. Thompson, Burrillville, and Douglas. So I know it's all a technicality. It's like, oh, he's in three states at once. I don't know. I find shit like that cool. I love borders. I love weird geographical anomalies like that. So I'm excited. I've actually been to one other tri-point border before. That was the Massachusetts, Vermont, New Hampshire tri-point border. The thing about that one is it's actually right along the Connecticut River. So the border itself is sort of in the middle of the Connecticut River. It's not directly in the middle, but kind of. So to get there, what I had to do was I actually took out a kayak from Northfield, Massachusetts, I kayaked a little bit out into the Connecticut River, and I was there right in the middle of Massachusetts, New Hampshire, and Vermont at the same time, in the middle of the Connecticut River. That one was fun, and maybe someday I'll film that too, but this one's a little different. It's just a hike in the woods, not that far of a hike. I'm actually pretty close right now, so I'm gonna start filming when I get there, and I'll show you guys, and it's gonna be crazy. We're gonna be in 3 states at once, 3 towns at once, and of course I'm gonna be acting like a child and doing some crazy shit, so I'll meet you guys there. It's gonna be fun. Guys, we officially made it. The tri-state border. So let me show you how this works, because it's pretty crazy. So this granite monument pretty much indicates which state we're actually in. So this is Massachusetts. So basically, standing right here where I am currently in Massachusetts. Now, if I go over here, now I'm in Connecticut, because that's the Connecticut side. I am currently in Connecticut. If I go over here, now I'm in Rhode Island. So now I'm on the Rhode Island side. You get the point. And obviously that's Massachusetts too, because Connecticut and Rhode Island, their state line is vertical. Massachusetts is horizontal. So these 2 sides are both Massachusetts, and these 2 sides are Rhode Island and Connecticut. It's pretty crazy shit. So if I put my hand right in the middle like this, I am now in 3 states, or I should say my hand is in 3 states: Connecticut, Rhode Island, Massachusetts. Again, it's a weird geographical technicality, but it's really cool. And I mean, that's how borders work. At the end of the day, borders are just imaginary lines drawn by people. Obviously, they got to have a finite length. There always has to be an end point, and this just happens to be the end point. So it's really cool. Now I'm going to get my tripod set up in a second. We're going to play around, and I'm going to show you just how bizarre it is to be at a tri-point border. So guys, right now I'm in the state of Massachusetts, which is my home state. But if I go over here, and if I do this, now I'm in both Rhode Island and Connecticut at the same time, right? But if I do this, now I'm in Massachusetts and Connecticut at the same time. But if I do this, now I'm in Massachusetts and Rhode Island at the same time. So there's lots of possibilities. But here's the crazy part. Now watch this. This is gonna hurt. If I do this, whoa. Now I'm in all 3 states at once. So now I'm in Massachusetts, Connecticut, and Rhode Island all at the same time. So I'm in 3 states at one time. And it's a very uncomfortable existence. So that's how this works. It's pretty crazy. I mean, you can be in multiple states at multiple times. Now, that brings into the question about legalities. What if you're committing a crime in Rhode Island that's perfectly legal in Massachusetts? I can't think of any examples off the top of my head, but let's say you were doing something right here in Rhode Island that was super frowned upon in the state. But if you just go like this and you do that same crime, but now it's perfectly fine. You know what I mean? Because in the United States, obviously, states obviously follow federal law, but then there's state level laws where states can actually govern themselves. So theoretically, you could be doing something that is perfectly legal in this spot right here, but super illegal in this spot right here. And shit like that, I find that crazy. I know that's pretty standard legality, but I find it crazy. And that is the tri-state border between Connecticut, Rhode Island, and Massachusetts. You know, guys, I'm trying to figure out where to go for vacation this year. I'm really not sure, but it's almost August, summer's drawing to a close, and I want to go on a good vacation before the summer ends, so I'm trying to figure out where. Obviously, I live in Massachusetts, so I kind of want to go to a different state. Oh, you know what I should do, actually? I should go to Rhode Island. Oh, I love Rhode Island. Beautiful state. I think I'm gonna go on a trip to Rhode Island. Oh my God, that was such an amazing trip. Dude, Rhode Island is so beautiful. Okay, sorry, that was really stupid. I had to. Hey, thank you guys again for joining me. I've been Jay Mass as always, and this has been another New England adventure, this time in 3 states at one time. Pretty crazy shit. So that's been the tri-state border, or the tri-point border, between Connecticut, Rhode Island, and Massachusetts. Again, I've been Jay Mass. Thanks for joining me, and I'll catch you later from the Massachusetts side. Wait a minute. I'll catch you later from the Connecticut side. Okay, one more time. I'll catch you later from the Rhode Island side. All right, shout out to all 3 of my fans from New England. Catch you guys later, tri-state border. I've been Jay Mass.